Hiya people, welcome to my channel, back to the channel. We are doing an oil change on this. It's a Kia Soulless 1.6 CRDI diesel, and it's watching me like I'm watching it. Anyway, first thing you want to do is pull the bonnet release, which I've already done, as you can see, but I'm just doing for demonstration purposes. It's there. And then we've got a little lever to lift up, and the bonnet lifts up. And because this isn't anything posh, like a BMW or anything, you've got one of these stupid sticks which fits into the wing there next to the arrow. And then we're nearly ready. Been running for a little bit, get it warm first. So let's turn it off and drop the oil. Right, before we start, we're going to pull this off, which is just vanity cover. That's the oil filtration device there. Then we're going to lift this lid off. Not that it makes that much difference, but that's just to let some air in so the oil falls out faster. And then we're going to undo some plug. Right, so here now, as you can see, I have got no sort of extension on the height of the vehicle. Oh, that's quite tight. Let's go around the side a bit more. There we go. This is where you drop the sump plug usually. At best, you're going to get your hands covered in oil. Yes, drop the sump plug washer. Oh well, we can get a new one of them. So just leave that draining. So as that's draining, I've gone and got another oil drain, so we can do oil filter, which 27mm socket. Shouldn't be that tight, but it probably will be. Now that was actually pretty tight. And when you're undoing this, make sure you keep it straight. Right, so once you've undone this, you're going to let it drain off for a little while, otherwise you're going to jizz oil everywhere, which is never a good look. And then carefully remove it, and that's your filter. Now, so to get this oil filter off here, you're going to want to pull it off. Sometimes it can be quite stiff, that wasn't too bad. But you're going to want somewhere to put it, hence why I've done it inside an oil drain. And then the new one, we'll just push on to wipe it out and clean it for the next person that wants to use it. I want to replace this O-ring that you get a new one, because this is a Napa filter, it's the best of quality. And you get a new copper washer, and you get a new O-ring in it. If you don't have a screwdriver, the customer's key is a good alternative. And there we have this. This gets placed onto there, where the other one came from. Oh yeah, make sure it's the same one as what come off, put them next to each other. I mean, this comes from a reputable car shop, which is always good. But sometimes you can get them wrong, but this is the same length, I've checked it. So now we're putting these on. We've got new O-rings for that one and for the bottom one. Very fancy. New one's fitted, and before you put it back in, you want to put a bit of oil around here. So you just get a bit of the old oil and just run it all the way around to lubricate it as it goes on. Just put it back where it came from. Now you've got to line them up. And you're putting it back in, get the thread started. When you've run it all the way down, you want to tighten this to 35 Newton meters with a very good torque wrench, which is about there. So now we're also going to put our sump plug back where we found it, and as you can see, it's got a nice shiny copper washer on it. That actually come with the oil filter. Let's see if I can film the excitement. Yes, it goes in at that angle, if that is of any interest to anybody. Then you just tighten it back up. So then you've got to tighten it up with your 17mm spanner, and then once you've done that, you start the biggest ever cleanup since the Exxon Valdez. So now you're ready to put some oil in. Let's undo that. And then you can get a funnel, or you can just Aim it. Yes. Not spilt any yet. Right, I put 5 litres in it. These are supposed to take 5 and a bit, 5.3 or something, C3 530s, C3PO, and it's got enough to start the car, that. So let's start the car and see where the level is. Can't get it in, look at that. Look at that. Fuck's sake. Yes. So you want to run it just enough to circulate the oil through the filter when I get, and then turn it off again. And then what we're waiting for is the oil level to drain back into the sump. And then while you're waiting for that, you might as well tidy all your shit up. Don't know if it's going to need a bit more oil. We started off, I put a gallon of that stuff in. I had already had some of this stuff, same stuff. It's not the same stuff, but it's similar, it's close enough. For someone who's not too fussy, yeah, people say don't mix engine oils and stuff like that. They're both C3 rated 530s, different brands, but more or less the same shit. That can go in the bin. This can all go in done. Then we just got to top the oil up. Now it's been running, it's settled. Just check the oil level again. And if anything, that's probably a couple of mil above the full level, which isn't where you want it to be, but the car isn't properly level, so it won't be far enough out to worry about draining any out, I don't think. So we're just going to leave it at that. Put everything back together and tidy up our oil spill. Put this on right way around, that helps. That just knocks it back on.